ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I welcome everyone to this Rajavidya Rajaguhya series. Today we'll be discussing the 13th shloka of the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So far, we have seen the first 12 shlokas. In the first 3 shlokas, Krishna revealed the glories of the knowledge of Bhakti, which is very confidential. In the second section, which is from the 4th shloka till 10th shloka, Krishna spoke Aishwarya Gnana. So the knowledge of Krishna's own opulences and his relationship with this material world, and he spoke in this section how he is all pervading throughout the universe. Yet he is not attached to anything, he is not dependent on anything, but everything is dependent on him and is being maintained by him. Then in the next section, from shloka number 11 to 25, Krishna speaks about different types of worshippers. There are some people who approach Krishna with love and affection. There are some people who approach Krishna in other forms. There are some people who worship themselves. Or there are some people who don't worship Krishna at all in any form. And they deny the existence of the Lord. They ridicule the form of the Lord. So Krishna speaks about all such kinds of people in these 15 shlokas, from the 11th shloka till 25th shloka. From 26th shloka, Krishna speaks the glories of pure bhakti. Now, we have already discussed 11th and 12th shlokas in the last 2 days. So, in the 11th and 12th shlokas, Krishna spoke about the mudhas, their qualities and their destinies. Who are these mudhas? Those who deride Krishna. Manushim tanimashrita. Avajananti mamodha manushim tanimashrita. Means mudhas are those people who deride Krishna when Krishna descends on this planet in a human form. But in contrast to these mudhas, there is another category of people called mahatmas. They are not fools. They are glorious personalities. They are great devotees. So Krishna describes the qualities of these mahatmas in the 13th and 14th shlokas. Very beautiful. Krishna describes their qualities and activities. Mahatmas are basically pure devotees. Now, interestingly, these two shlokas, shloka number 13 and 14, which we are going to discuss today and tomorrow, are very special. You know why? Just look at this chart. Bhagavad Gita has 700 shlokas, and in the first 6 chapters that primarily talk about karma yoga, of course, there is dhyana yoga also, gnana yoga also, but the uh, primary message of the first 6 chapters is karma yoga. There are 279 shlokas. In the middle 6 chapters, chapter number 7 to 12, there are 209 shlokas that talk about bhakti yoga. In the last section, last 6 chapters from 13 to 18, there are 212 shlokas that talk about Gnana Yoga. Now, this Bhakti Yoga is the middle section, 7 to 12 chapters. In this middle section, the middlemost shlokas are 13th and 14th shlokas of 9th chapter. Total, there are 700 shlokas. Now, the middle shlokas will be shloka number 350 and shloka number 351. Right? Here there are 349 shlokas and there are 349 shlokas. Right? So this shloka number 350 and 351 are the 13th and 14th shlokas of the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we are going to discuss the central 2 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, 9.13 and 14. Today we'll discuss the 350th shloka, tomorrow 351st shloka. Interestingly, in the shloka number 350 or 9.13, Krishna spoke about Srimati Radharani. In shloka number 14, Krishna spoke about the process of Kirtana. So Kirtan and Radharani are very dear to Krishna. Therefore, he spoke about them in these middle two shlokas. So let's begin. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashritah bhajantyananya manaso gnatva bhutadimavyayam. Very beautiful shloka. I request everyone to try to memorize this shloka. All, if possible, but at least these two shlokas are very important. महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्. Let's see the meaning of this shloka. Krishna says, Mahatmanastu mam partha. He speaks about Mahatmas. In the previous two shlokas, he spoke about the mudhas or fools who don't accept Krishna when he comes as a human being. Now, Krishna speaks that Mahatmas are great souls. What do they do? Mam daivim prakritim ashritaha. They take shelter of daivi prakriti, means divine energy of Krishna. Who is this divine energy or divine nature of Krishna? That is his own internal potency, Srimati Radharani. We'll discuss how is this Radharani, who explained like this. But in short, understand that Mahatmas are those people who are under the protection of or shelter of Krishna's divine nature. Whose nature? Krishna's nature. Mam, right? Mam. Partha is like Arjuna. Krishna is speaking this to Arjuna. And under the shelter of the divine nature of Krishna, Srimati Radharani, what do? Bhajanti ananya manaso. Bhajanti means they perform devotional service unto Krishna. They worship Krishna. In what mode? Ananya manaso. Anya means something else. Ananya means nothing else. Ananya manaso means with undeviated mind, without any distractions in the mind, without without diverting their attention towards anything else, with complete focus, with full concentration, with full dedication, they worship Krishna. Bhajanti ananya manaso. When is it possible? When we are under the protection and shelter of the divine energy of Krishna, Srimati Radharani. Now, what else do they do? Gnatva bhutadimavyayam. So, this is their activity. This is their activity where they worship Krishna, they serve Krishna, and this is their understanding. Right? Sometimes people may perform some activity without proper understanding, or people may have understanding but they may not perform an activity. But those who are under the shelter of Srimati Radharani or Krishna's divine energy, they have the best understanding about Krishna and they do the best service of Krishna also. The last line says understanding. Gnatva, they know me as Bhutadim, as the origin of everything in this universe. Bhuta refers to living entities. And Adi means origin. So they understand that Krishna is the origin of everything in the entire universe. And Krishna is Avyayam, inexhaustible. Sometimes when somebody does so many things, they get exhausted. But Krishna is the origin of so many things in this world. Aham sarvasya prabhava mattaha sarvam pravartate. From him everything emanates. He is all pervading. He does so many things. His energies are doing so many things. And Bhutadim is the origin of everything. He is the cause of all causes. Yet he is Avyayam, inexhaustible. Right? So we get this understanding of Krishna. Gnatva bhutadim avyayam. Last line says that we understand that Krishna is the cause of everything and he is inexhaustible. The third line says bhajanti ananya manaso. We worship Krishna without any distractions. Second line says daivim prakriti mashritaha. These first two things happen when we take shelter of Devi Prakriti, Srimati Radharani. Clear? Let me tell the meaning once again. Krishna says, O Partha, O Arjuna, Mahatmas or great souls are those people who are under the shelter or protection of my divine energy, Srimati Radharani. And what do? Bhajanti ananya manaso. They worship me without any distractions and they also know me as the origin of everything, cause of everything, and inexhaustible. Clear? Very simple. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashritah bhajantyananya manaso gnatva bhutadimavyayam. Now, let's go to nectar of instruction, Upadeshamrita. which is translated by Srila Prabhupada in as Nectar of Instruction. Originally, the book's title is Upadeshamrita. It's written by Rupa Goswami. Prabhupada translated it in English and he called it Nectar of Instruction. In the second purport of this book, Prabhupada writes, the words Daivim Prakritim refers to the control of the internal potency or pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this pleasure potency is manifested as Srimati Radharani. And her expansion, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. When the individual jiva souls are under the control of the internal energy, their only engagement is satisfaction of Krishna, Samsiddhara Haritoshan, or Vishnu. This is the position of a Mahatma, right? So basically, Krishna says in this shloka, Mahatmanastu Mampartha Daivim Prakriti Mashritaha. Daivi Prakriti refers to the divine energy of Krishna. That the divine energy is Srimati Radharani or Mahalakshmi, Lakshmi Devi in Vaikuntha, or Radharani in Goloka, or Sita Devi when she stands next to Lord Ramachandra. The Lord has so many forms. Lord is one. God is one. He has multiple forms like Rama, Krishna, Vishnu. And the Lord's energy, the divine energy, also takes multiple forms like Sita Devi, Lakshmi Devi, Radharani, right? So, in short, we need to take shelter of the divine consort, divine energy of the Lord to effectively serve the Lord and understand the Lord. You want to understand Ram? Take shelter of Sita Devi. You want to understand Krishna and serve Krishna nicely? Take shelter of Srimati Radharani. You want to worship and serve and understand Lord Vishnu properly? Take shelter of Lakshmi Devi. Basically, we approach Father through Mother. With Mother's blessings, we can understand and serve the Father nicely. That's the thing, in short. Mahatmanastu Mampartha Devim Prakriti Mashritaha. But there are some people who want the energy separate from the energetic. So they want Lakshmi. They don't want Narayana. Many people want Lakshmi, money. They don't want Narayana. They don't want to serve Narayana. But those who take shelter of Devi Prakriti, what do? Bhajanti Ananya Manaso, they worship Narayana. So there are people who are very attached to money. They want Lakshmi. They don't want Narayana. And there are some people like Shishupal. He wanted Rukmini, not Krishna. And Ravana, he wanted Sita, not Ram, right? You can't, uh, we can't grab the energy of the Lord by rejecting the Lord himself. You take shelter of the energy of the Lord to understand the Lord, to serve the Lord effectively, to develop a relationship with the Lord. So we need the blessings of Srimati Radharani. We need the blessings of Sita Devi. We need the blessings of Lakshmi Devi to approach Narayana or Krishna or Vishnu or Ram properly. Right? So that is the greatness of taking shelter of the Devi Prakriti of the Lord. Or in other words, to keep it simple, take shelter of Mother, you understand Father, you approach Father effectively. So if one is not a Mahatma, he is a Duratma or a crippled person. Such mentally crippled Duratmas are put under the control of the Lord's external potency, that is Mahamaya. Mahamaya is external potency. These modhas, right, which Krishna spoke in the 9th chapter, 11th and 12th slokas, they are influenced by Mahamaya. But Mahatmas, which Krishna is talking about in the 13th and 14th slokas, they are under the influence of Daivi Prakriti, right, the Lord's consort. I hope this is clear. So Krishna spoke about Atma in the sorry, in the second chapter. Krishna spoke about Atma. Now in the 9th chapter, Krishna is speaking about Mahatma. The small soul becomes a great soul. This is Atma. But that Atma becomes Mahatma. Not Paramatma, by the way. Paramatma is the greatest. Paramatma is the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. Mahatma is a great person amongst the souls, amongst the Atmas. Atma, Mahatma, Paramatma. Paramatma is Krishna himself. Atma is an ordinary soul, and Mahatma is a great soul. So, what makes Atma into Mahatma? What makes a normal soul, small soul, as great soul? Devotional service. Bhajanti Ananya Manaso, that bhajan or devotional service unto the Lord makes that Atma into Mahatma. He is under the shelter of goddess of devotion. That is Bhakti Devi, goddess of devotion, or Devi Prakriti, Srimati Radharani. So now we need to direct our heart to the heart of Krishna. Who is the heart of Krishna? Srimati Radharani, right? So when we take shelter of Krishna with the blessings of Srimati Radharani, then that pleasure potency, Srimati Radharani, she bestows devotion upon us because she is the supreme goddess of devotion. Whatever little devotion we have is coming from her, right? Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is Bhagavan. He is Purna Purushottama. And we are his amshas. We saw in the Purushottama Yoga series uh, that seventh shloka. Krishna says that uh, Mamayivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. We are all his amshas, right? We are amshas of Krishna. Our bhakti is an amsha of Srimati Radharani's bhakti for Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, Radharani is the Supreme Goddess of devotion, and we are parts of Krishna, we are amshas of Krishna, and our bhakti is an amsha of Radharani's bhakti because she is the supreme worshipper of Krishna, right? So she is Anayaradhito Nunam Bhagavan Haririshwaraha. She is the supreme Aradhika. She is the supreme worshipper of Krishna. And when we want to worship Krishna, we need her shelter. Right? Bhajanti Ananya Manaso. If you want to do Bhajanti Ananya Manaso, you need to take shelter of Radharani and perform that bhajan. Right? So without her blessings, it's very difficult to approach the Lord. That's why Krishna says, right in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, take shelter of Radharani. Bhakti is not just an emotion, it's an enlivening action performed with a loving emotion with the blessings of the supreme goddess of devotion. Right? It's an enlivening action means you perform service also, not just having some emotion for Krishna. I love Krishna, but I can't serve him. It doesn't work like that. If you love him, you serve him also. Therefore, bhajanti ananya manaso. So, bhakti is not just an emotion, it's an action with an emotion. You perform an enlivening action with a loving emotion with the blessings of the supreme goddess of devotion, Devi Prakriti Radharani. So, that is bhakti, right? So, Lord Shiva says, Ananta Koti Vishnu Lokana Narm Ananta Koti Vishnu Lokanamra Padmajarchite Himadrija Pulo Maja Virincha Javara Prate Ananta Koti Vishnu Loka Namra Padmajarchite Unlimited Vaishnavas, crores and crores of Vaishnavas, they take shelter of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. Kada karishyasi hamam kripa kataksha bhajanam. Even great personalities also are aspiring for her blessings. Now, all Vaishnavas are under the shelter of the supreme goddess of devotion or Devi Prakriti. Now, one who surrenders to Krishna performs devotional service. Mahatmas are those people who surrender to Krishna and perform bhakti. Now, what is that bhakti which we perform under the shelter of Radharani? Chanting, reading scriptures, singing kirtans, whatever you are offering, offer with love. Yome bhaktya prayachati. These are simple activities. All these simple activities are blessed by and empowered by Krishna's divine energy. You may read scriptures, you may chant Hare Krishna, or you may serve Vaishnavas, you may go to different dhams, you may sing kirtan, you may speak Krishna katha, you may hear Krishna katha, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. All these devotional activities, core devotional activities, they are done effectively under the shelter of the Lord, under the shelter of Lord's internal energy. The Lord has material energy also. That material energy distracts us. It could be food, it could be TV, it could be video games, it could be phones, it could be social media, it could be something else or something else. The external energy, material energy, or Maya that distracts us from Krishna. But the internal energy, Daivi Prakriti of Krishna or Radharani, that she helps us to focus our heart and surrender to Krishna. So we need to come out of the influence of material energy and come under the influence of spiritual energy. Mhm. And then we will not divert our attention from Krishna. Bhajanti ananya manaso. We understand Natva bhutadim avyayam. Krishna is the cause of all causes. We have seen this theme multiple times. He is the cause of entire universe. He is the cause of all living entities. He is the cause of this nature. He is the cause of time. He is the source of everything. So Mahatma understands that Krishna is everything. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Samahatma Sudurlabha. Another shloka of Bhagavad Gita also defines Mahatma as one who understands that Vasudeva is everything. Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Here, Mahatmanastu mam partha dhatva bhutadimaviyam. This shloka says that Mahatmas understand that Krishna is the cause of all causes. That shloka says Mahatmas understand that Krishna is all pervading. He is everything. So to get this understanding, we need to perform bhakti with the blessings of the supreme goddess of bhakti. Then we are freed from material control. When we surrender to the Lord with the blessings of Radharani, then we are freed from material control. And Krishna frees us from the material control. For that, we need surrender. So by becoming free from material nature, you become Mahatma. Or to become free from material nature, you need to follow the footsteps of Mahatmas. That's why it said that bhakti is best practiced by following the footsteps of Mahatmas. Mahajano yena gatasapantha. There are so many Mahatmas who took shelter of Radharani, who took shelter of Lakshmi Devi, who took shelter of Sita Devi, who took shelter of the Devi Prakriti of Krishna, and they are free from the material nature, and we follow in their footsteps. Thus, we also become free from the material nature. So, this is the meaning of this shloka. So one can become a great soul by simple activities of hearing Krishna Katha, chanting and remembering him, learning Krishna Katha together, and sitting and doing sing kirtan. Even children also can do. That's why uh, in the beginning of this chapter, it's mentioned Susukham Kartumavyam. It is very easily practiced even by children also. Susukham, very joyfully practiced. To conclude our discussion today on this shloka, so we should not be distracted. We should surrender to Krishna with the blessings of the Supreme Goddess of Devotion and perform devotional service. Thus, we become free from material nature. And this whole bhakti can be best practiced in the association of other devotees. So, tomorrow we'll discuss more about Mahatmas. What else do they do? Today, the focus is on understanding Krishna's greatness and taking shelter of Srimati Radharani and performing bhakti. But to be more specific, what is the most important and effective limb of that bhakti? And what is the most essential practice in bhakti? We will discuss that tomorrow in the 14th shloka. That is shloka number 351 of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.